right? And if you're undocumented, especially if you're a male, no one's gonna come and save you, to be honest. All right, stop being so soft. I see this a lot on social media. People are way too soft nowadays. You can't even say nothing because it rubs people the wrong way. But the truth of the matter is, nobody else wants your dream more than you're gonna want it. And because of that reason, you need to wake up and you need to start working towards your dream, towards your business. There's no more information you need to find out. You need to just jump right into it and start building your brand and start building something. All right? Because in 5 years from now, you're gonna thank yourself that you started earlier, right? 5 years ago from now, 5 years ago, I was charging $15 for photography. Now, easily I'm charging 10x, 100x of what I was charging at that moment. But it was 5 years in the making. So the faster you jump into starting your business, the faster you take autonomy as an undocumented individual into your future, the fastest you're gonna get opportunities that other people are not gonna be able to see, because they are so caught up in this victim mentality. They're so caught up in, I don't have work authorization, how am I gonna find a job? No, like, that is the reality, but it doesn't mean that you stop applying to jobs. It doesn't mean that you stop today. It means that you have to continue going harder, and that no one's coming. All right, no one is coming to save you. No one, in fact, no one really cares about your life. Right? Nobody really cares how long it takes you. Right? So I'll leave it there. You don't need anybody to approve of your goals or your dreams.
Welcome to UndocuStartup by Juan Maya Hernandez.
So welcome to another episode of UndocuStartup Weekly, where I share the biggest lessons that I've been learning on a week-by-week basis, building the #1 entrepreneurship program for undocumented students under my company, UndocuStartup. If you want to learn how to bring entrepreneurship to your campus, visit www.undocustartup.com. Again, that's www.undocustartup.com. Today we have a few great lessons, so let's just jump right into it, okay? Lesson number 1, maintain before increasing. All right, I have this big issue where I want to do 100, 1,000 next volume when I can't even maintain it long term, right? So for example, last year, about a year ago, 2 years ago, I was sending out about 1,000 emails a week, and that was great. But the problem was that I couldn't maintain it. I didn't have a system to maintain it. Eventually, I got to the point where I did hire somebody to help me find the emails, and then I was just in charge of sending them. That didn't end up working due to money, due to people not responding. Nonetheless, what I learned there is that in order for me to continue, I need to first be consistent before I start increasing, right? If I want to send 10,000 emails a week, how am I going to do that, right? On my own, it's probably going to be impossible. So the biggest lesson is just to maintain the clients that I already have, maintain the goals that I already have, and then focus on increasing it a little bit longer. All right. So first, consistency is important. Lesson number 2 is that let them tell you, the users, the clients, on what it is that they actually want. Okay. I have this big problem where I just want to continue innovating without actually asking my users, without actually asking my clients, the people that pay me, my partners, the students, the public. And what I realized is that that's a mistake that could lead to failure. All right. Before I launched the UndocuStartup Bootcamp to if y'all remember, I wanted to launch this program that was paid by students, but I didn't really consult any students. I didn't really consult users, and that's one of the biggest things that we have to do as entrepreneurs. We have to talk to our users. We have to talk to our clients. I think if I want to relaunch that, I need to talk to every single person that has gone through my programs, every single person that that has paid me to run a program. And then from there, get as much feedback as possible. And with that feedback, figure out how to sort of implement it slowly, right? Similarly with coming up with workshops, similarly with coming up with the next version of the UndocuStartup Tour, feedback is at the core of everything, all right? Lesson number 3 is do what you do with what you have, all right? I need to focus on using all my current resources that I have. I think I run into this issue where I'm consuming a lot of content. I'm getting all these new books, but I'm not implementing stuff. Right? And then I look at another book. I think they call it the shiny object syndrome, where you jump from one thing to another, right? But again, knowledge is only potential power. The true power comes when you start implementing it, right? So the way that I view it now is, instead of buying 2-3 new books, focus on the one marketing book I already have in front of my table take as much notes as possible, actually implement some of the strategies before I move on to the next book. And that might mean reading it 5 times, 10 times, 20 times, 30 times, instead of just jumping from one to another. So do what you have with what you do with what you have. Another example is last week I did like a Q&A session with some of these students that wanted to learn about entrepreneurship, and they were asking me for advice on, how do I do XYZ if I don't have these resources? And I'm like, well, you look at the resources that you already have. You see, when you're a student, there's so many resources on campus. You can reach out to legal partners, right, that graduated from that specific university and ask for help from a specific staff that already supports you. So again, just do what you do with what you have, and don't look for a lot of excuses. Just look for the resources within your network if you're trying to build something. Lesson number 4 is to stop looking for approval in places that you no longer are trying to be a part of. That one's extremely important from this week. All right. I was trying to get approval from certain nonprofit organizations. I wanted to get approval from certain partnerships that I wanted to have, and just realize that I don't need this approval from them because I'm building my own lane, right? I'm not here to add on to other services. I'm not here to add on to whatever that nonprofit is doing. I'm not here to look at what all these other people are doing. Possibly they are competitors at best, but I'm trying to build this new category of undocumented entrepreneurship without limits. I'm trying to build this new category of entrepreneurship, thinking differently, turning obstacles into opportunities, really developing that entrepreneurial mindset and opening opportunities within our community by hiring ourselves so then we can provide more jobs to the economy. That's really the biggest mission, right? And the people that are not going to agree with that, they're not going to work with me. The people that are going to agree with that, they're going to work with me. They're going to find a way to work with me. So I guess I'm just done trying to seek approval from some certain organizations. I'm done trying to reach out to them because we're just not in the same lane. And that's totally okay, right? Like, I think a year ago, me would get a little butthurt from it. Now it's kind of like, well, I'm 25. I'm going to be 26 this year in a few days. And I'm just zoomed there. I don't need their approval, Lesson number 5, just really prioritize what's necessary when it comes to making an investment. All right. So I was going to attend this conference. Looking at the expenses and everything, I was going to spend around $1,500. And in this moment, I only had maybe $100, $200 to invest. And I would need to go into debt to go to this conference without really understanding the return on investment that this event would have on my business, right? If my goal is to connect with people in other states, if my goal is to expand to other states, will this conference help me get there, right? And ultimately, I looked at all the different variables and I looked at, is it worth getting into debt for something that I don't know? And is there something else that I can do? Because a conference is always going to happen every single year, right? A conference is always going to be there. Now, the thing that is not always going to be there is my time, right? So I decided to just put those $200 right there, just keep them there, and then just focus on trying to still meet with these people virtually, trying to still meet with these people and other avenues of communication like emails, direct messages, LinkedIn, stuff that I hadn't really think about. So before I even start to buy something in terms of my business, I really look at what is the return on investment. Is it at least 2x of the amount of money that I'm going to make? And especially if it's something like a conference that happens every single year, they might be there. But if I can't build my brand, I might not be able to be there, right? If I can't prove that these programs are necessary and they're making an impact within the community, then there's no point in me going into those spaces. All right. Lesson number 6, stick to priorities first. I've always said this. My main 4 priorities are this, right? Number 1 is health, right? This past year, I learned the importance of taking care of your health. I sprained my 2 ankles. I partially dislocated my shoulder. I was getting sick a lot because I was eating a lot of junk food. And now, every single time that something gets in the way of my health, I don't do it, right? My main priorities are the health. Then from there is my career / my business / UndocuStartup / trying to build this new category of undocumented entrepreneurship. Then from there is my family. And then from there is my partner. And I shouldn't need to negotiate them with anybody, right? And that's one of the things that I started learning. My family should understand that if I'm trying to get to a certain place, they should just all I really need is just them to support me in this journey. The same with a potential partner. The same with everything, right? I'm always going to prioritize my health, because health is wealth. Literally, health is wealth. If you don't have your health, there's a great quote that says, when you have your health, there's 1,000 problems. When you don't have your health, there's only one problem, right? So again, those are my priorities, and I need to focus on that, because only like that I'll be able to give the best version of who I am to the people that I care about. Lesson number 7. Don't be afraid of lowering your standards to build relationships early on. All right. Examples of how I've done this. I've ran a free program last year. I'm running free workshops right now, at least publicly. And then when certain organizations that have reached out to me, they say, hey, we want to bring a program next year, spring of next year. Can we do a workshop, right? Something introductory. Can we start there? And what is your pricing? And although I don't want to be known as the workshop person, because I do think workshops are already overrated, right? I'm more open to lowering my standards to start that conversation, to start that relationship, to show people my expertise, right? Because when you're coming, like if I put myself in their shoes, nobody really knows who I am, right? Maybe they see me on social media. Maybe they've heard the word has spread throughout the programs from these different partners that I work with. But again, everything is about relationship building. And that's one of the things that I am just more open to, right? Like I'm open to working with budgets just to get something introductory, right? And then from there, I kind of see that as a way to prove myself, see how professional I am, see if they enjoy working with me. And then from there, we can start the conversation of a boot camp or even an incubator. So now I'm more open to changing a few pricing offers, at least working with people's budgets and just seeing what it is that they actually need. And if what they need right now is a workshop, that could be a simple intro offer that we can create so we can start developing those relationships. And the last lesson, which is the most important one, is lesson number 8. It's up to you because no one is coming. All right? It's up to you because no one is coming. On the days where I don't want to work, on the days that I don't want to get up, on the days that I don't want to build this company, there's nobody else I can turn to, right? I can't turn to my family. I can't tell somebody to do the work for me. No one's going to do it. Nobody has the vision that I want. Nobody is trying to build this ecosystem of undocumented entrepreneurship the way that I want it. And because of that reason, I don't need advice from other people. I don't need their validation. All I need is myself. Right? All I need is myself. When I was at UCLA, when I was going through academic probation, I was going through subject to dismissal, almost getting kicked out, failing classes, retaking them, oversleeping, not taking exams, all these things, taking a lot of energy drinks. I wanted somebody to come and save me. But the truth of the matter is, no one is going to come. Right? And if you're undocumented, especially if you're a male, no one's going to come and save you, to be honest. All right? Stop being so soft. I see this a lot on social media. People are way too soft nowadays. You can't even say nothing because it rubs people the wrong way. But the truth of the matter is nobody else wants your dream more than you're going to want it. And because of that reason, you need to wake up and you need to start working towards your dream, towards your business. There's no more information you need to find out. You need to just jump right into it and start building your brand and start building something. All right? Because in 5 years from now, you're going to thank yourself that you started earlier, right? 5 years ago, I was charging $15 for photography. Now, easily, I'm charging 10x, 100x of what I was charging at that moment. But it was 5 years in the making. So the faster you jump into starting your business, the faster you take autonomy as an undocumented individual into your future, the fastest you're going to get opportunities that other people are not going to be able to see because they are so caught up in this victim mentality. They're so caught up in, I don't have work authorization. How am I going to find a job? No, that is the reality, but it doesn't mean that you stop applying to jobs. It doesn't mean that you stop today. It means that you have to continue going harder and that no one's coming. All right. No one is coming to save you. No one really cares about your life. Right. Nobody really cares how long it takes you. Right. So I'll leave it there. You don't need anybody to approve of your goals or your dreams. Right. It all comes down to how much you want it. Right. And again, these are the conversations that I tell myself, right? It's like, okay, You got braces, your mouth hurts. Cool, but how bad do you want to continue doing your work? I still went to go to the gym that day, right? When I got a deep clean, my mouth was hurting. When my arm was hurting, I was still showing up for the programs that I had. There was a few tweaks that we had to make, and I couldn't even sit because my arm was hurting, my legs were hurting, but I still had to do the work. And that's something that people need to understand within the undocumented community. Stop with this victim mentality. It is true. Things are difficult. But life is unfair. All right? Life is unfair. You want something fair? You want something fair? Stay how you are. Have no other problems. But if you want to get into entrepreneurship, you want to start something, you want to not rely on the government or DACA or all these things, you want to rely on yourself, do something with what you have. Stop asking for approval. Stop asking for help from anybody else. The only person that can help you is yourself. All right. That's the only person that is going to help you. And the only person that frankly only cares about yourself. All right. So I'll leave it there. Stop this victim mentality. Keep working hard. Keep showing up. This is for you at the end of the day. It's okay to be greedy, right? Do this for you. Want more for your life. There's nothing wrong with that. Right? But it starts with you. And it starts now. So thank you all so much for listening to today's episode. Let me just summarize the lessons. Lesson number 1, maintain before increasing. Lesson number 2, let them tell you, your users, your clients, before you innovate. Lesson number 3, do what you do with what you have. Lesson number 4, stop looking for approval in places you no longer are trying to be a part of. Lesson number 5, really prioritize what's already necessary when making an investment. Number 6, stick to priorities first. Number 7, lower standards once to build relationships. Not all the time. I said once. And lesson number 8 is up to you anyways, because nobody is coming to save you. It's all up to you. If you want to fix up your status, it's up to you. If you want to build a business, it's up to you. If you want to go to a really good university as an undocumented person, you can make it happen, but you're going to have to work for it. Nobody is going to give you anything for free, right? That's the biggest thing, right? There's nothing here in this life that is free. All right. And you have to understand that if you're trying to do something of your own as an undocumented professional. With that being said, everyone, thank you all so much. And remember, be motivated and stay motivated, baby. All right. Everything's on you. Go ahead and succeed. I'll talk to you soon.
Welcome to UndocuStartup by Juan Maya Hernandez.